The fair brings all kinds of people out, including the governor of our state, Governor Pete Ricketts. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sure, Sara. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, what keeps you coming out to the fair?
Well, of course, it's a ton of fun. This is where we highlight our state's #1 industry, agriculture, and it doesn't hurt that you got all sorts of great food to eat along the way as well.
Exactly. Let's get down to business, though, because you announced yesterday that the Director of Corrections for the state is resigning, Scott Frakes.
Yeah.
Did you see that coming?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Scott and I have worked together now for 7.5 years. He's done a fantastic job in the Department of Corrections. And, you know, he's originally from Washington State. That's where we hired him in from. And he's looking forward to going home. You know, the end of my administration is coming up here in about 4 months. So he's getting ready to go back and spend some more time with his wife. So, you know, he's done a fantastic job, really helped us implement a lot of technology, really helped us with getting our workforce up to speed, implemented a lot of things around security and taking care of the inmates. So Scott has done a wonderful job for us, and we're just so pleased that he agreed to join us here for the last 7.5 years to help us with the Department of Corrections, and wish him well and whatever he decides to do next. But I think the first thing he's going to do is take a little time off.
Yeah, he has. You've touched on it. You know, he's come in with challenges, short staffing, some overcrowding. Looking forward with the Department of Corrections, what do you want to see? What do you want to see from its next leader?
Yeah, so what I would like to see from the next leader for the Department of Corrections is somebody who will pick up where Scott left off, continue to do all the great reforms he's doing with regard to, you know, the type of programming for inmates, the type of things we're doing to attract and retain talent. And then, of course, the Nebraska State Penitentiary is needing to be replaced. So that'll be the next big project for the Department of Corrections. Is we're working with the legislature. They set the money aside. Because they've waited a couple of years, it's actually gone up. I think originally when we first proposed it, it was about $240 million. Now I think it's going to be like $350 million. So, but, you know, the facility as is right now was last renovated back in the 80s, so it's really reaching the end of its lifespan. And the legislature will either have to build a facility someplace else, which is the best option because that'll give us the biggest bang for the buck, or they're going to have to go back and renovate a facility that has been around since, you know, for 150 years. So the better option is to start greenfield, just do something new, and then we can, you know, do that in phases to bring the inmates over, and that's probably the best plan. But that'll be the next big thing for the Department of Corrections.
All right. You just returned from a big trip. There was a football game, but you were doing other things in the UK and Ireland, and focusing on insurance. Tell our viewers why that was.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nebraska is one of the leading insurance states. We're actually #1 in surplus assets and #3 in total assets. In fact, we expect to be moving up in the rankings here as well. And we're easy to do business with here in Nebraska, and our insurance department is seen as a thought leader in the industry. So when I was over in the UK, they've got the largest insurance industry in Europe. I said, hey, come to Nebraska. It may look intimidating with 50 state regulators, but if you come to Nebraska, we're easy to work with, and we'll help you get into the other states. And then, of course, while we were over there, we were also promoting Nebraska beef, and Ireland's economy is growing like gangbusters, and their hog producers are starting to use distillers' grains, so we wanted to sell that. The UK is obviously looking for different trade relationships now that they've had Brexit, so lots of great opportunities for us to be able to make connections and expand opportunities, whether it's agriculture or insurance.
All right, we are at the State Fair. You've debated at the Nebraska State Fair before, but we don't have a debate this year. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, again, every candidate's got to come up with their own strategy. And I think one of the things that when you see is if you don't have a very competitive race, then maybe you're not going to be doing debates. So, but every candidate's got to come up with their strategy. Obviously, Jim Pillen had a strategy for the primary that was successful, and so I presume he's got a strategy for the general election that will also be successful.
Don't think the other side should get a chance, though?
Well, again, you got to be competitive if you're going to make it happen.
All right. Thanks so much, Governor
Great.
Pete Ricketts. Thank you so much for joining us, taking the
Great,
time. I know you're a busy guy.